Hey everybody, Icy Cat here, and today there's pretty much only one thing to talk about. The release date for Siege has been officially pushed back. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? What's the reasoning behind the delay, and how will this impact Siege going forward? Today, Ubisoft posted on their official blog that the release date was being pushed back from October 13th to December 1st, giving them 6 additional weeks to work on the game. They said it mostly had to do with feedback they received, as well as internal testing as reasons for coming to this conclusion. They also cited improvements across the board to the co-op experience, weapon and gadget balancing, and menu and interface navigation. I'll be honest, I'm not real sure exactly what that last one is all about. There were some bugs in co-op though, and some of the gadgets caused bugs as well. If you watched the Road to Montreal livestream, you saw a few camera bugs with Mute's jammer messing up the player view when coming out of a scrambled drone cam. I myself ran into a couple of bugs using Pulse and IQ's gadgets as well. The game was definitely playable, but it had a few bugs to work out for sure. But then again, what pre-beta game in development doesn't? I don't know what's going into all the changes, but I do know the week our team spent out in Montreal playtesting was an interesting one for sure, and may have had some real impact on this particular turn of events. Originally, we were scheduled for nearly constant playtesting with a few feedback meetings, but it sort of organically evolved into more substantial feedback meetings about halfway through the week. We had a lot to share with them on all aspects of the game. Things we loved, things we were concerned about, things we thought were missing, should be adjusted, or just outright changed. Even after the business day was over, the developers stayed with us as we went out to get dinner or hang out and just continued to talk and give feedback very late into the night. While that event was huge, they've also specifically cited other events like E3 and Gamescom as giving them a lot of feedback too. I know they've been talking with both casual gamers and professional gamers gathering input. Even looking at things like the closed alpha feedback surveys, you can see that they've always been about listening to the community. We've seen not one, but 2 changelogs already based on the community feedback, and the game hasn't even gotten to beta yet. I think the only thing I wish they would have done differently would have been to ask for the community feedback and testing at an earlier stage in the game, when things weren't so set in stone for core game mechanics and infrastructure. So we know a very little bit about what's being worked on, but there's also the issues of what hasn't been talked about anywhere in much detail yet, which is pretty much anything non-PvP. They mentioned co-op across all modes. Does this simply mean the 4 terrorist hunt types? Or does this also include the single-player missions that can also be played cooperatively? I hope it does. The mission mode is something which very little information has been released about. While I was there, I advocated heavily for this mode, as Rainbow Six has always been a franchise with 3 distinct ways to play it, from multiplayer to single player to cooperatively. No matter what kind of gamer you are, one of these modes would offer something for you, and many people enjoyed playing all the modes, or at least 2 out of the 3. If refinements are being made to the mission mode, that'd be a great thing for those of us who enjoy non-competitive elements of a good Rainbow Six title. I'm glad to hear at least some of the investment in the extra polish is going to be going to these co-op elements as well, because I'm just not as big of a PvP player, and the meat of my experience will be with the other modes of play. Delaying a game's release date is going to provoke some very emotional responses in people. There's no way around it. There's going to be people who are really mad or disappointed with the decision. But if we can just take the emotional aspect and set it aside for a minute, I think it becomes pretty obvious that it's the right thing to do. Doing this is going to help ensure the best possible game, and that's something I think we can all agree with in the end. We've all watched games like Halo Master Chief Collection or Battlefield 4 come out with broken gameplay or issues that were just not ready to be pushed into the market, and yet they were anyway. The results of those games were damage to the brands they represent, damage to the developers' reputations, and a pretty pissed off community of fans. It's a hard thing to push a release date back. I mean, you risk upsetting players by doing so. But nobody threw a dart at the wall that just happened to land on a post-it note that said to delay the release. This was done with lots of internal deliberation and as a result of community feedback and playtesting to give all of us the best game they can give us. Personally, I'd much rather wait an extra 6 weeks for a more polished and complete game than a hurried job that hurts the Rainbow franchise and leaves me as a player upset and alienated. What about you? What are your feelings on the new release date? Sound off in the comments down below, or head over to the forums or subreddit to discuss some more. Please like and subscribe for new content each week, and as always, thanks for watching.